I'm Tom Henry. I'm the duly appointed deputy supervisor. I'll be chairing the meeting this evening. And the only difference being that I do not have a vote. So saying that, meeting will come to order. We will all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First order of business will be public comment. Anybody that wants to make a public comment, please sign the register that Dave has. And when he calls your name, please approach the board. State your name and address and make your public comments. Please address your comments to the board and try to keep it to 3 minutes.
Deborah Grenier?
Deborah Grenier, 2010 Cemetery Road. And I didn't go to last week's meeting or last month's meeting, but I did watch it later. I've heard some people comment that a few times Norma Hartnett was referred to as Mark's boss. Mark referred to her as his boss. Just kind of confused about that. But also effort to get maybe someone who's a notary and a passport clerk to help Nikki. Somebody, can do those things because a lot of times people want to come in and have things notarized or get a passport. And just think it'd be good to make an effort to get someone who's got those skills or qualifications. Also, I was looking at the update on lawsuit of town residents versus the town planning board. I'm a little confused about the wording. It kind of, thus far costing taxpayers $70,000. Is there an itemization of that? There are many lawsuits, the town suing people, people are suing the town. Why is that particular lawsuit singled out? I'm going to put in a FOIA request tomorrow for all the lawsuits currently going on with the town, because I'm just wondering why that particular one is singled out. It seems like the taxpayers are sounding like they're the villains, because not the taxpayers, the town residents, because they're costing the taxpayers money. But it's actually, an issue that involves Heritage Hill, I believe. I believe that's the entity that is the town residents are suing. And it seems a little politically motivated because that's where a lot of the Pompey Republican Committee meets. They have their fundraisers there. Many on the board are Pompey Republican Committee members, and as is the owner of Heritage Hill. So this kind of seems like politically motivated. And I just want some answers, and I'm going to be pursuing the other lawsuits, finding out about the other lawsuits. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lisa, is it Miles?
Miles, yeah.
Okay.
Lisa Miles, 7262 Pratt's Falls Road. I apologize, I wasn't familiar with the new format of the meetings. I thought public comments always came at the end so that we could comment on the agenda items. But I also wanted to ask about the lawsuit that is pointed out on the agenda. I agree with what Deb said. It seems like it was singled out for some reason. I'm curious to that. I believe that the residents that are suing the planning board and not Heritage Hill, just for clarification. But they are also taxpayers, so any bills that would be distributed amongst the residents would include the petitioners in that lawsuit. But I as well would like to see some sort of accounting. Is that necessary to do a FOIL request if you are pulling that out for public comment, public knowledge? I mean, what can you tell us about the lawsuit and the $70,000 that you've been billed so far?
This is not a question and answer. This is for public comments. I'll be reporting what I know about the lawsuit and my supervisor's report.
Okay, thank you.
That's it.
That's it. Veronica, any,
Yeah, I don't have anything.
nothing at all? If no one else has any public comments, the public comment segment of the meeting is now closed. Next thing on the agenda is the accountant's report. Jim?
Okay, I think everybody has a copy of the supervisor's report and the February bank reconciliation for the checking account. First, I'd like to request that the board make a motion to approve the February reconciliation for the town operating account.
I'll make a motion that we approve the bank reconciliation statement.
Okay, second it.
Motion made and seconded to approve the bank reconciliation.
Second,
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carried.
second, I'd like to request that the board make a motion to accept the supervisor's report for the month of February.
I'll make a motion to accept the supervisor's report for the month of February.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded to accept the supervisor's report. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carried.
Okay. Relatively quiet month, mostly routine bills were paid. Our NICLAS savings interest, we brought in $6,325. That's going to start to increase dramatically over the next several months. Just transferred 1.5 million from our checking account into NICLAS this month, now that property tax collections have ended. And most of the really large bills for this calendar year are paid out, all the fire districts, SOX, things of that nature. The annual financial report for the state of New York is prepared. It's basically waiting on approval from Mark, and once that's approved, it will be submitted. It's due at the end of the month. So we'll get that finished up and filed. Lastly, I'm sorry, not lastly, ARPA, we still have $249,992 of funding that is uncommitted at this time. Funds do need to be committed by the end of the year. And lastly, we have two budget modifications for tonight. First is, if I can quickly here. First is to increase the budget line for town historian to reflect payment of her 2023 salary that was not paid until 2024. So that's going to increase the historian personnel services line, A7510.1 by $1,780. It's going to come from the contingent line, A1990.4. I'd like to request a motion to review, to approve that.
I'm making a motion to approve the historian salary to be moved. Yeah,
Okay, that's good.
got it.
Dave, do we need the dollar amount in that motion?
1780,
Yeah, I will. Jim, if you just want to repeat it.
it's 1780.
Read that off.
All right. Make a motion to increase the budget line item for the town historian to reflect payment of the 2023 salary not paid till 2024. Don't you have this? Oh, you've got them. Mhm. Yes, okay.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded to pay the historian salary for 2023 and 2024.
Correct.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carried.
The second is to increase the budget line for legal fees for ongoing proceedings within the town. We're going to increase, sorry, I have the wrong account number there. It is going to be a 1931.4. I apologize.
It says here.
That's what it says.
Yeah, I know, I think I forgot to update that. It's going to be legal contractual, and I can provide an updated account number for that later on. We're going to increase that, the legal contractual line by $52,000. That's going to come from fund balance.
Jim, just a question on that. Is that dollar amount, the amount the difference, the amount we carried for the whole year in that line item?
We had already budgeted an extra, I believe, $19,000 for legal fees on top, over and above what we typically spend for monthly legal fees. So this $52,000 plus the $19,000 that we already increased will cover the legal invoice that we have.
Okay,
And that's for the lawsuit.
Correct.
and that's coming from the fund balance.
Correct.
Okay.
We need a motion for that.
Yes.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we add additional 52,000 from the fund balance to the legal line item. Jim will represent what that exact number will be in order to cover the $70,000 payment for the legal situation for the planning board.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the $52,000 additional for attorney's fees. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carried.
And that is all I have for tonight.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Seeing on the agenda is the town clerk's report.
I have a few things. If the board has had the chance to review my draft, I'm looking for acceptance for the February 13th regular meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept the meeting minutes from last month.
I'll second.
February.
Motion made and seconded to accept the minutes from the last regular meeting. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Okay.
I'm looking for acceptance for my bank reconciliation reports for both my town clerk and tax collector accounts for February 2024.
I'll make a motion to accept the bank reconciliation and tax collector reports for February 2024.
And I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded to accept the bank reconciliation for February 2024. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Carried.
Looking for payment of bills. I've created all of the vouchers and submitted the abstract, so I need a motion for that.
I'll make a motion that we pay the bills based on the abstract you submitted.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded to approve payment of the bills. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Carried.
All right, I'm requesting board approval to attend the New York State Town Clerk Association, the clerk conference in April. It's 21st through the 24th. It's in Albany. This will be my 5th year here. I had the chance to go one time. I learned a lot. I would love to go again, but I need a board approval for that. It's $150 for registration fee and then my hotel and meals.
Nikki, is this the one that we're actually gonna try and apply a scholarship for?
I hope so.
I think it's a great idea. You get a lot out of those, so.
Thank you.
That's good.
I'll make a motion to approve the request to the town clerk to attend the clerk's conference, April 21st to 24th in Albany.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded to approve town clerk's conference for Nikki on April 21, 24. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Carried.
Perfect. The last thing is the community event, our Earth Day that we do every year. It's going to be Saturday, April 20th from 9 a.m. until noon. It's in part of the town hall and the highway department. We'll get more details on our website, on our Facebook page. We have another meeting before then, so I can tell you exactly what's going to be there, but at least save the date for 4/20.
That was a huge event last year.
Yeah.
It was,
Teresa, BR's clerk, does a lot of work with that. She works really hard getting everything set up. So we're working together and I just want to be able to touch base so I can give a better update on exactly what we're going to have. But you're not doing an open house this year, right?
No, probably not.
Okay.
But it'd be about the same as last year with
Yeah.
electronic recycling
Yeah.
and
It was
the
huge. It
shredding, yep,
was amazing.
tires and garbage and all that
Wait.
stuff.
Could you just explain, what did you guys do last year? And I understand it's not gonna be the same.
So
Or
all
might
the,
not
all
be
the
the same.
electronics recycling,
Yep.
Tires.
They had some old stuff, they could bring it in and be packaged up and send it back out.
Okay.
The tires, if you got
Tires.
That's
tires,
huge.
there is a limit and a size limit as well, which we'll post on the website as soon as we get a
Okay.
finished here. In the shredding event. we
Shredding
get a shredder
event,
up
yeah.
there.
We always get the shred solvers come up and people can bring in bins of stuff that they want to shred. The ECC shows up and they do the seedlings, they do tree giveaways, so there's gonna be a lot to offer. I just,
Well, and there's groups gonna be picking up garbage around town.
Yeah.
Which they'll be able to drop off up here as well. We'll have a crew here on that Saturday of both weeks probably.
Does this need a motion?
All set?
yeah, that's it for me.
Highway superintendent's report?
Yeah. So after a couple of years, we have applied for that DASNY grant. We finally got it, and that was to the tune of $250,000.
Nice.
So
Wow, nice work.
So 55, I just run down the list real quick, 55,000 oil water separator installation that's gonna be over for the highway department. A plow chassis purchase, which is an international, similar to the 6,500 that we ordered there a couple of months ago. The exterior windows replacements down there in the highway department, entrance doors replacement. Actually, that was put in here for here. I don't know if you guys are still gonna do the doors up here, but there's money for that as well.
Yes.
We're looking into it right now.
Plow attachment for my new pickup and a salt spreader. And a ventilation unit for the guys that do the welding down there. Give them something,
Good idea.
give them fresh air. So with that being said, I'd like to have the board approval to purchase the International Plow Chassis Truck from the DASNY grant for the total of $136,579.
All right, I'll make a motion to purchase the plow chassis for the truck for $136,579 from the DASNY grant of $250,000.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the $136,579 from the $250,000 grant. Are there any discussions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carried.
I also want to bring up that I've been working with Onondaga County Soil and Water, who had some money set aside to do a few things as well. And we purchased it's called a live blade cutting edge for the front end of a plow. What it is, it's 12-inch individual cutting edges that kind of move along the road contour. And by using those, they're supposed to decrease up to 20% salt usage, which is what all New York State's trying to do right now. Get the salt usage way down because of what's doing to creeks and all that stuff, so. I purchased one, put one on a plow, it works really well. I filled out the paperwork. We should receive at least half back from Onondaga County Soil and Water for $1,622. Also, they had some money set aside for, I don't know if you guys remember, probably 2019 when Gulf Road got washed out. There was some engineering costs to the tune of about $50,000. And so we filled out paperwork for that. And we got $15,000 to go towards that engineering cost as well. So we're getting some money back from them. Worked with Craig Dennis. He's been real helpful. And hopefully we can do some more of those live edges, save us on some salt.
So BR, who did the work to get the grant and get reimbursed?
I was working with Craig and another guy, I can't remember his name, but we've been back and forth on it for a while.
Well, thanks to you and thanks to Craig.
Yep.
That's great.
We've already spent the 50, we're getting.
Well, that was spent,
15 back.
we're gonna get 15 back from that, and then like 16, the edge was like 3,200. So that was like 16.
Where is the truck chassis coming from?
That's gonna be international, or Allegiance now, I guess, it used to be regional. We just changed to Allegiance. I think that's all I got.
Do we, I'm just asking for question's sake, do we have to get more than one bid price for anything like that, or is that just?
Well, this is, I bid it for the grant,
Okay.
so you
So it was
kind
all-
of purchased
it was
what
done
you got
ahead.
on the grant, yes.
Okay.
And they have contract OGS pricing as well. And I'll just make sure that that's on the,
All right, I
Number.
wasn't sure how it worked,
Yeah.
and was, figured it was good to know.
Yep.
Thanks.
I think that's it. So.
Okay, DR, thank you. So my report, the supervisor's report, I need a motion on a board acceptance of the Justice Court Assistance Program grant applied for by Judge Ralph Cognetti.
I'll make a motion to accept the JSAP, which is the Justice Court Assistance Program grant that we had applied for. Judge Cognetti.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded to accept the Justice Court Assistance Program grant applied for by Judge Ralph Cognetti. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Carried. I have a report regarding KVAC, which is set up, gave us funding to have an EMT training program at the Fabius Pompey CSD for students. And you said you didn't have any more information on that, Diana?
No,
So the fire department,
I've been absent from the fire department tax season, so I have not been down there, so.
okay, so it sounds like,
I didn't know anything about this until I got a phone call from Mark asking,
I was informed that the money came from Madison County,
yes, that's correct.
and they funded for EMT training, which is a great thing.
Or I do know, it's the new, it has to do with the new Madison County ambulance program.
Right.
So where they're consolidating all the ambulance corps, it's gonna be funded by Madison County instead of individually. And they got a grant, don't remember the amount, like $250,000 grant. KVAC wants to share that money outside of KVAC. So they approach the town and with the fire department and with Fabius Pompey School, they'd like to offer up some of that money to do an EMT program with students at the school. That's pretty much all I know.
That's great stuff.
Yeah.
That is great stuff. Okay, all I have left is to talk a little bit about the lawsuit that has been presented by some town residents versus the planning board. Article 78, I guess is what it's all about. Apparently, they don't feel that the planning board did their due diligence regarding Heritage Hills attempted expansion and some other complaints. So to date, we have spent $70,400 on attorney's fees to defend this lawsuit. And we expect a decision in the next few weeks, hopefully. And we think that we're going to win that case. Last year, we budgeted $35,000 for that cost for this year. So $35,000 short. So we just approved $52,000 to cover the cost. So that's where we're at. It's not a good thing. It's something that probably should have never happened. And Mark wanted me to relay that if there's ever a grievance by anybody against the town board, please approach Mark and the board members so we can sit down like adults and have a discussion and hopefully come to resolution on anything that comes up like that again. I think it could have been avoided if we had all worked together and sat down and discussed it like adults and saved $70,000 and all this grief. That's just what Mark wanted me to tell you. If there's nothing else to come before the board meeting this evening, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Both say no. Meeting's adjourned.
He said